Look at this, Richard. Literally everything but the kitchen sink.
Actually, just about. So I thought we would just take a minute and go over all the ways that you can actually get a stoppage and then clear them. And the most common, quite often, is the toilet stoppage. It usually happens when people are over.
Or kids.
Yeah, it's a big deal. So I thought it would make sense to start with sort of seeing what happens inside of a toilet bowl. This is the water line right here.
Right.
And you see water right here. But people don't realize, I don't think, that there's a passageway that comes up here, goes up this little short leg, and then down through this really convoluted path. You notice it gets slightly smaller as you go down here. So if this had solid waste and paper jammed in right here, and you tried to take a plunger and just push it, you actually could work against yourself and you could compress it. So actually the tip I want to give on a plunger is get it seated right here. Push down a little bit, just to get a seal, and then pull it back the other way. So now you're going to actually draw that stoppage up a little bit, just to break it up, and then it should get clear.
Not always, though.
No, they make a tool expressly for clearing these things. So if you took a regular wire and just tried to clear this, you would scrape this china. So this is called a closet auger. So if you see right here, there's a protective coating right here on this arm. Now what you do is you advance this gently up through. It'll just pass through here, clearing any stoppage. So the action would be like this.
And somewhere inside the guts,
That's right. And it just,
that wire is going up and around.
Yeah, push it, okay? It has a hook on it, so it's sort of like fishing, Kev.
Not my kind of fishing, Richard, but...
Oh, I got one!
All right. You know, you're a plumber.
That's right.
I get it.
That's right. All right, so now, on a lavatory, we can start the attack on the lavatory with a plunger.
Right.
But there's one important call out, and that is, if you look right here on any lavatory that's legal, it's supposed to have a thing called an overflow right here. It might be at the front, it might be at the back like this, but what happens is if we now put a plunger on it and there's a stoppage below it, what's going to happen is every bit of the force you do here could come right out at you. So it's really important to block this off so that all that hydraulic force going down and not out at you.
And typically when we're getting these clogs, they are in the trap.
Quite often, here's the typical sort of cross-section underneath the sink. You've got a pop-up assembly on a lavatory. Right. You got this linkage right here. This is a place where hair will often clog.
Sure.
Oftentimes, you can take apart the trap and dump it out and see what's going on. But many times, you've got to come down, you pull this out, and you've got to come down with a wire like
right.
this.
So similar to your closet auger over there, this is going to just push it
Drive it
through.
down, and you just advance it gently. There's an advance right here. So
yeah,
you do a little, then you lock it, you just keep on advancing, driving it down through. But you're not done yet. Just imagine this trap is right here. So you get down through the pop-up assembly, down through the trap, and you come to here. Now, in a lavatory, it might be just a short line right here. And the wire has a choice to go, you hope, down where the stoppage might be.
Because that's where the liquid's going.
Correct.
Yeah.
But if it's plumbed properly, there's a line that goes up and ultimately out through the roof, so that's the vent. You hope that by gravity, the tip of the wire would go this way.
If it doesn't?
You just keep doing it and doing it, or you bend the wire, and sometimes you have to cut it and put a clean out in, okay? Yeah. Similar on a disposer. And so now with this, you have to take this apart and find a way to get the wire down in here.
Gotcha.
I do want to call out one thing on a lavatory, though. You think it was hard to get the wire to go this way. I showed you this because this is how...
What is this?
Well, you know, there's bathrooms that have two lavatories.
Oh, yeah. His
And this
hers,
might be
left and right.
might be the way that the plumber roughed it in. Okay, so you cut down through here with the wire. Where does it go? Over here, and it comes waving to you out the other sink.
When it really wants to go down
Correct.
here.
Okay, so if the original plumber cared at all about us, they would have done this. So that the wire, do you see this? The wire would have no choice but to go here. And this is actually not legal in many jurisdictions.
I gotcha. So it's literally just a highway for the wire now. It actually will put it going in the right direction.
That's right. So
Yep.
it won't go up the vent.
Okay, very cool.
All right, so that's lavatories, and this is also the drain. Now, in a bathtub, you can use a plunger, but the same rules apply that was over here at the lavatory because this is an overflow right here.
Right.
So if you did this, you'd have to pull this plate off, block this off. Let me hold it up. Yeah.
So right now, this is the bottom of the tub right here.
This is the part you'd see in the tub right here.
Fill valves up here.
Here's that
Gotcha.
mechanism to do it. You take that off, you do this, and so if you do this, you got to block this off, and then the force of that plunger would push this way, right? Okay? But what people make the mistake is they take the wire and they go in here.
Yep.
It's no different. So it can come back waving at you again.
I don't understand how you even made it through a career of plumbing. It must have driven you absolutely crazy.
So you really want to do this. You want to come down this way.
Oh, so don't go through the drain.
No, you don't go through that. You come down through here and then just gently advance, tighten this up, and just come down, and you come right down through the trap, and then you'll clear it.
Because again, I think it's important for people to realize that the clog is not typically here.
No.
The trap, it's going to be in the trap oftentimes, which is always down here.
Now, there can be hair in the mechanism. So, I mean, that could be here, and so...
Is that from the personal collection?
I just brought it from home.
Is that the personal
Well, actually, I don't have any more hair to lose. So, all right, so that's an important tip to come down this way, okay? And this is all the stuff that's going to be up at the fixture where the trap is.
Yep.
But sooner or later, it goes down to the basement or down below into a larger pipe. And so at this point, you may have to step up from a little wire like this to get a bigger power wire. And so at every change of direction, every time water comes down here and turns this way, by code, it's supposed to have a clean out.
Okay.
Okay, so this clean out now becomes a place that a wire could go in here. And I want to make this point, you know, if you run a wire in there, you really want to find a way to run that wire and run it in there, and then also run water down the drain. Because if you looked inside of a long kitchen sink drain, and if you looked, you'd probably see the bottom quarter or bottom third just filled with solid waste. And so if you just ran a wire in there a little bit, it wouldn't necessarily flush it or clean it. So you really have to find a way to run the wire, bang it around inside.
Disturb it, loosen it, and let the water run throughout the whole thing.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's really important. And then I want to call out something that's pretty interesting.
Isn't this for a water hammer?
Well, no, it looks like it. You've been paying attention.
What is this thing?
So this is going to use the power of hydraulic force. So with this coming through our cleanout, right, you take this off, you connect this to a hose, and you would put it down inside here as far as you want it to go. Say you want to get down to this point, so we're driving it downstream.
This is specifically made for clearing clogs.
Absolutely.
No
So
kidding.
now what it's going to do is it's going to fill up, right? The water's going to pressurize this and make it fill, you can't fit that one. It's going to fill up that void.
Yeah.
But look what's at the end. Little hole.
Oh.
So now that would pressurize and seal off right here.
No water's coming out.
No, it wouldn't come this way.
Yeah.
And now this small hole would now pressurize and force water down to where the clog is. Okay, so this actually has some advantage to get into places. I will caution you, if you've got ancient galvanized piping, you're now putting pressure where there hasn't been any pressure for a long time, so you could expose a leak, but it would be a way to sort of easily push that clog downstream.
That's unbelievable. So there are a lot of places where it can go wrong, but there are a lot of solutions to making it go right.
That's right. So what most people want to do is do this. They want to put some chemical down there. I just want to put a caution out to you. If you have a real stoppage, this chemical is not going to make a difference. It's only going to add to danger for the people that do have to come along afterwards right there.
So what do you think, never use?
If you have, maybe on an ongoing basis to sort of get organic matter that might be there, but nothing beats the mechanical solution to clean the wire, flush it, and keep that pipe clean. Yeah. And this also, if left in there, I've seen it where it sits in that long horizontal old pipe and it eats away at the bottom of that pipe.
Yeah, and most importantly, you can't go fishing with this.
You can't. Okay.
All right, Richard.
Did that cover it?
That did. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. This Old House has got a video for just about every home improvement project, so be sure to check out the others. And if you like what you see, click on the subscribe button to make sure that you get our newest videos right in your feed.